First at 5, it has been a case with many twists and turns. Convicted killer Alex Murdaugh will be back in a South Carolina courtroom for a hearing, this time in Columbia. His lawyers are bringing forth evidence they say could set him free. WSAV's Joseph Leonard is joining us now to explain what Murdaugh's attorneys want and what is next. Joseph?
It's been more than a year since Alex Murdaugh first walked through the doors of the Colleton County courthouse, facing a dozen of his peers, pleading his innocence in the murders of his wife and son. And if his lawyers get their way, he'll be doing that again, but this time with a new set of jurors. Alex Murdaugh wants a new murder trial. In March of 2023, a jury found him guilty of murdering his wife Maggie and son Paul. But his lawyers say during that 6-week trial, their clerk of court, Becky Hill, tainted jurors and guided them to that decision, claiming affidavits from 3 jurors prove it.
And all 3 statements are consistent, and in that they heard Ms. Hill, the clerk of court, prior to deliberations, and frankly before the defense put on their case, Ms. Hill instructed, do not be fooled by the defense. That's what the sworn statements say.
Judge Jean Toll now presides over the case. She took over after Judge Clifton Newman was forced to retire at the end of 2023. And she set the bar high for his lawyers, who will have to put together a convincing argument to get a new trial. She wants to know exactly what Hill told jurors and how, if at all, it impacted their verdict.
Remember, they heard over 70 witnesses testify and received 400 pieces of evidence, and they rendered their decision. And I think what you're going to hear is they were not impacted by anything that they may have heard or anything that Miss Becky may have allegedly said.
But those jury affidavits carry some serious allegations against Hill, possibly going as far as to fabricate a Facebook post to help remove a juror who may have believed Murdaugh innocent. I spoke to attorney Joe McCullough, who represents several of those jurors. He says if it's true, this clerk of court could be headed back to a courtroom, this time as a criminal defendant.
It has ramifications in a lot of ways, but of course, jury interference can lead to criminal charges. There's a very specific statute under South Carolina law providing for criminal penalties up to and including a term of imprisonment for jury interference.
The court will get a head start on the new hearings this Friday with testimony from 1 juror. The rest will testify starting on Monday. WSAV will be in Columbia for that hearing and will continue to cover this story online and on the air. Joseph Leonard, WSAV News 3, on your side.